So I'll be showing you how to draft, cut and sew a petal sleeve. A petal sleeve resembles a petal, and the reason is because it is divided into sections at the sleeve cap area. It's also called a tulip sleeve. Now, a petal sleeve can be developed at various lengths. It's depending on your choice or your preference. There are several types of petal sleeve. We have the basic petal sleeve. We have the petal sleeve with added fullness at the sleeve cap area, forming a puff. And then we have the petal sleeve that is flared. So feel free to make any of the designs of your choice. But in this tutorial, we're making the petal sleeve with added fullness at the sleeve cap area. So let's go straight into the video. So I'll be using this fabric to line the sleeve. So I'll cut two of these, one for the fabric and then the other for the lining. And I'll be using this art interfacing to give it structure. So this is my basic sleeve. This is what I'll be using. So let's just go straight into the tutorial. So the petal sleeve will be drafted. This will be drafted from my basic sleeve. The first thing I'll do is to along the sleeve cap area, that's this area. This is the front of my pattern. This is the front, and this is the back. So around this front area, I'll measure from this center front grain line. I'll measure 3.5, minimum 3.5. Measure 3.5. This is 3.5 here. Then along the grain line, I'll come down by, let's see what we have here. This is 8 inches. Now this is dependent on how long you want your sleeve to be. If you want your sleeve to be very long, fine, but I have 8 inches here, so I'll just do 6. I don't want mine to be too long. Then at the underarm of my sleeve, that's this area, I'll go in by ½ inch. Now I want it to have a tapered look, so I'll go in by ½ inch. Then I'll also decide how long I want this part to be. Let me see what I have. I have 4 3/4, so I'll just do let me do 3.5. Feel free to, okay, let me just do 4. I want it a bit long, so I have 4 here. The next thing will be to connect all my lines, all the points rather. This is, I think this is kind of deep, but let's see how it goes. Feel free to blend or redraw the lines if you are not getting the desired look that you want. Let's see what this gives us. Okay. It's too curved. Okay, let me just use my hand to blend it. Okay, so I have my curve. Let me highlight it with my marker. All right, so at this point I'll trace out this. This is actually for the back part, so I'm going to do the same thing for the front part. Then I'll trace them on a fresh pattern paper. So at this side, I will, at this back area, I'll go out by the same measurement I took for the front, which was 3.5, along this sleeve cap area. Then this is also the point I will use for uniformity, so the front and the back will match very well. Then I came down by 4 on this other part too, 4 inches. This is 3.5, 3.5 here. Then I'll connect all the points together to form my back, to form the front petal sleeve. Let me see if this can do it. Okay. Okay, so this is what I have right now, the front and the back all drawn. I'm just trying to blend it out, and I'll use my marker to highlight it. All right, so I'm done. The next thing I'll be doing is to trace out the individual parts on a fresh pattern paper. This is for the front and this is for the back. So let's do that and see what it looks like. I'll be using my tracing wheel. Let me just pin it down. Okay, so I'll trace out the front here, and I'll trace out the back on the other side. Okay, now one important thing that I want you to take note of is the grain line, this center grain line. Please do not joke with it. So I'm going to trace it out also. I'll trace it out on the front and on the back. Please do not joke with this grain line. It's very, very important. As we go along the tutorial, you will understand why. Okay, I'm done with the front. This is the front. So let me trace the back. Let me trace the back. Okay, so let's trace the green line first. So this is the back. Now, the next thing to do is to, let me highlight them with my marker so that you can see exactly what we have here. And this is the front. and this is the front. So I'll cut out. Feel free to try out this tutorial, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. I'll always be there to answer your questions. And if there's anything you want me to, any kind of pattern you want me to draft, also let me know in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, as that will help me grow. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm done with the tracing. Now this is my back and this is my front. Now if I'm making a basic petal sleeve, my job is already done at this point. All that I need to do is I can either decide to sew it the way it is, matching the two grain lines, this front grain line and the back. So after cutting on my fabric, I will create a notch at the top and at the bottom. So when I'm sewing, I'll just ensure that the two grain lines are aligned like this. So this is my petal sleeve, my basic petal sleeve. But there is also the all-in-one petal sleeve, which is done by joining the side seams. In case you don't want to sew this part, you don't even need to sew it. You can join the two parts together to form an all-in-one basic petal sleeve. So let me join them for you to see. So this is it. This is the all-in-one basic petal sleeve. So I'll cut exactly how it's looking on my fabric. I'll cut the fabric and the lining and interfacing. Then join along the hem line. After ironing the interfacing on the fabric or on the lining, I will join on this part. Then do an under stitch to keep the lining in place at the back. After which, when I'm done, it will just look like this. Ensure to align the grain line of the front and the back. Make sure that it is aligned. So the sleeve will just look like this when I'm done. It will look like this. So this is what the basic petal sleeve would look like, just like this. But that's not what we are doing today. We're making the one that has fullness at the top and also at the bottom. So it can have fullness only at the top. So when you're doing your slash and spread, you cut to the hem line. This is the hem line. Just cut from the sleeve cap area to the hem line. But I want mine to have fullness at the top and at the bottom, so the bottom will spread a little. So to do that, I'll draw my slash lines. There is no particular method for drawing the slash lines. Just divide into several portions. Okay, I think this is okay for me. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'll do the same thing here. Okay, so let me number them. This is 1. I'll number it like this. This is F1. I don't want any confusion, because by the time I slash now, they will all look very confusing. So this is F1, front 1, front 2, front 3, front 4, front 5, and front 6. And this is back 1, back 2, back 3, back 4, back 5, and back 6. That's B6. So let me slash. I don't need any confusion at all. Another thing I would like to do is to indicate either the M line or the sleeve cap. So I'll just put let me just put X here to indicate that this is the M line, X, to avoid any form of confusion. Anytime you are slashing through your pattern, please do not forget to label. So let me cut through. I'm cutting through. Okay, so I'll just bring my pattern paper and spread on the paper. This is my pattern paper, and these are my pieces. Okay, so I'll just arrange them. Where is my F1? This is my F1, and this is my F2, F3, F4, F5. There is 5 now. Okay, this 5, and this is 6. Then I have my B1. I have my B1 already. There's the B2, B3, B4, and B5, and B6. So how do I arrange this on this pattern paper? It's looking kind of confused. I think I should have drawn a guideline. Let me see if I can join them back, because it's not going to be easy to get back that petal shape. So let me just draw a guideline on the pattern paper. Okay, so I've drawn my guideline. The next thing will be to also draw a guideline on my pattern paper. Let me do that quickly. Okay, so this is my guideline. I'll be using this as my guideline. So I'll just place F1. This is F1. I'll place it using this guideline on the guideline on my pattern paper. I'll just align it and tape it down. So I'll take F2. You can decide to spread by whatever distance you wish. I think 1 inch is okay for me, or even 3/4. Let me do 3/4. I don't want it to be too full. So I'm taping F2 down. F3. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. I'll be there to answer all your questions. But this is a very simple sleeve actually. If you follow the steps correctly, you are sure to get it. Oh, this is F3. This is F4. Okay, let me just fix it here. This is F3. And this is F4. And the next one is F5. F5. Remember, this is an all-in-one petal sleeve. Okay, so my grain line was here before I slashed and sprayed for the front. So I'll just go up by 2 inches, minimum of 2 inches. You can do 3 if your sleeve is very big. I have extended the sleeve cap by doing that. I'll also do the same thing for the back, like this. So I've created that extension. Then the next thing I will do is to blend. I'll connect this point here to this extension, then take it this way. So I'll also step up at this point and come down to meet this one. So the reason for the extension is I'm not doing any extension at the M line. I'll just connect all the points on the M line. There is no extension. I said the reason for the extension is because I want it to have that puffy effect. I want it to stand very well along the sleeve cap area. So I'm done with my pattern drafting. I'll cut, but before I cut, let me just outline what we have here. You can add your seam allowance on the pattern if you want, or you add it when you are cutting on your fabric. I'll be adding mine on my fabric. So this is what the sleeve looks like. It's so beautiful. So let me cut it out and show you. So this is what it looks like. I'll just remove all the pattern pieces that I don't need so that you can see. Remember, this is the front and this is the back part, and then this is my underarm joining. That joining at the underarm, this point goes to the underarm of your bodice. Please take note. And let me also draw out my grain line. Do not forget to do that. Ensure that you indicate your grain line on your pattern. So this is my grain line, and this is my front grain line. That's the back and the front grain line. Okay, so I'm done. Okay, let me just indicate the underarm. So this is what my pattern looks like right now. The next thing, not the last thing, the next thing I'll be doing is to cut on my fabric. I'll cut on my fabric. Remember, I said I'll cut two, one for the main fabric and one for the lining, but I'm using the same fabric. This is the fabric I'll be using. I'll use this fabric for the front and for the lining. So let's cut. Okay, so I've placed my pattern on my fabric. Let me pin it down. So I'll be cutting with 1/2 inch allowance all round, 1/2 inch. So I have cut out 2 of the fabric, 1, 2, and then the interfacing. So I've ironed my hard stay on the fabric. What the next thing I'll be doing is to sew the hem line. I'll be doing that right away. I'll sew with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then I'll notch the hem line because it's kind of rounded. It's not straight, so that it will relax properly before I do my under stitching. Okay, so I'll do my under stitching on the part that is the lining. This is the part I want to use as my lining. So I'll do my under stitch. I'll fold over to this side, to the part that is my lining. Then I'll do my under stitching. Don't forget to cut off all excess thread. As you can see, I'm done with my under stitching. So this part is going to be the lining part, while this is the part that I'll be showing in front. This is what the final result looks like. Our petal sleeve with fullness at the top and at the bottom. If you have any question concerning today's tutorial, drop it in the comment section. I'll be there to answer all your questions. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. See you in my next video. Thank you for watching till the end. Bye.